a major all year long, Mandy. They seeded directly into Phase 2, which means we didn't see them in Phase 1 like we saw Space Station. And of course, BDS, the big misnomer for them this year is that they failed to qualify for the Copenhagen Major. As a result, these guys are currently sitting 23rd in the international global standings for Six Invitational. They are not yet qualified. However, they are contending and they need to have the best run possible to guarantee that they will make it to that Six Invitational in Brazil.
Exciting stuff here for the EU squad in BDS, but the ban phase is going to start to move past us on Skyscraper. Monty to be the first one taken out by Space Station. Interesting. I feel like it does stunt a little bit of that like early game pressure that you get with the Monty being able to drone in and cut down on some, cut down on the drone work rather than actually sending in the drones itself. It does make that entry a little more easier, especially on a map like Skyscraper, where the entry points are not as viable as you'd think on some of the other maps in the pool.
We've already seen Space Station get rid of that Monty in the tournament so far. His army eliminated as well does leave a lot of other powerful operators in. So you talked about the Thatcher, the hard breach enabler. Well, one of the hard breach deniers has been eliminated as well. I really do like that as army ban, but there's a massive slew of very powerful operators still left in the pool as a result.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think taking these army out is important because you don't want to have to deal with that fortress internal of the map. Skyscraper is one of those maps that every single step of the way into the map is difficult. The entry is hard because there are not that many good entry spots. Once you get inside of the building, you get stuck in the chokes, right? And then even come later to the execute, it's then difficult to make that rotation and then translation into the bomb site actually work. And taking out the Dazami will at least make that mid-round slightly easier.
For Space Station, starting on the defense. First seed out of their group, but not without some form of trouble. They might have taken down Alpha Atheris 7-3 fairly handily, I admit, and in fact that was on this very map. Of course, their elimination game, or rather their qualification game up against Team Blisk was far more challenging. 8-7, it came down to the very final round on Clubhouse. They only barely made it through here without having to go down into that lower bracket. BDS, on the other hand, what a season they have had sitting directly into Phase 2 after a phenomenal showing throughout the EU League. Second place overall, a far cry from the 7th and 8th place that they managed in Stage 1.
Big improvements for Team BDS as they're going to take us, well, Space Station are actually going to take us over to T and Karaoke as the first bomb site of choice, and BDS posturing for a sweep across the map. 3 players spawning over on that office side, looking to create a dent into these roamers.
Quite a few roamers that there are. Fenrir has been spotted. That's a very nice drone for Leakothak. Is he able to get a wall bang? He's tempted, but of course there is a very hard bar compromise in that position. Leakothak actually finds faults on the rotation. I believe that was a wall bang. And as a result, BDS have expedited this roam clear.
Great lockdown with the line scan of Renshiro. Double down by Leakothak on the entry will open up the round for BDS. Even in the absence of the Monty, the early game still going their way, but they haven't faced the hardest part of this round just yet, and that's going to be this mid-round, trying to clear out the shield inside of Shrine, the position that Forest is currently sitting in. Shaiko on the case as it stands with 3 flashbangs in hand. Will try to dislodge this player.
Very slow and steady for BDS, it seems, but nothing to worry about as of yet. They've got plenty of time to finish this, and the drones have generated so much information for the attacking side, spotting those dread mines. They even know that this shield position is clear, and Leakothak can move right on up.
Yeah, right. Interesting. The position completely forfeited by Space Station, forcing them to fall back, and Brede as well with zone pick inside of the Geisha. Inside of the Geisha breach will take down yet another player of Space Station. It's really going to unlock the round here. Having Geisha control now open to Brede, he is going to look in for the side stab in tandem with the teammates coming in from the front push.
Oh, that's a big pick for Shaiko. Almost lost his life, but eventually the trade comes through. Double for Forest. Space Station on their last legs with just 2 players holding on, but J9O, if he lands this kill, he makes it winnable. Though he must do it all himself in a 1 versus 2, 1v3, as Alems is able to be picked up. He can make his rotation, can J9O, but that E1D will lock him in place.
Tough spot now for J9O. No safe place to rotate back up into the 2nd floor. Actually, for a moment there, Renshiro just looking away from the backstairs, but it looks like he's going to round the corner for the peak and get taken down with a nice headshot. BDS with the first round.
Phenomenal start for BDS. Off to a flying roam clear and converting that to perfection. Gotta say, Mandy, how good was that line? Every step of the way, that line was there to enable a collapse for BDS.
Yeah, it was really good. In the absence of the Dokkaebi ban, Alems as well picking it out does make things a lot easier in that early game once you want to try and go for the roam clear. It also means it's a lot harder for Space Station to fall off because you've got that line scan ringing out. You can't just stand still. That's not exactly how the game works, despite what everybody says on the internet. And the roam clear working really well for BDS. But for me, I think the turning point was really Bride claiming that second kill onto Geisha. That really opened up 2 points of entry that went into the bomb site. And when you're playing on a map like Skyscraper, you really don't want to funnel yourself into the chokes. You want to have a multifaceted push, and that's the key to these attacks.
Yeah, but the hammer and anvil worked to perfection for the French last round. Good to start strong on the attack as well, Mandy. We talk a lot about how this game has leaned itself to the defenders in the more recent meta, because how many good ops are there on defense right now?
Good ops.
Like Solus, Mira, both of which are present this round, by the way. The Azamu, who's been banned out. Fenrir, all of these powerful operators completely change the way that the attack has to think about their gameplay, and you simply cannot ban them all.
Yeah, are a lot of strong defenders. It's kind of like assembling the Avengers, if you will. And like, look, you can only ban out 2 of them. That's not even as good as Thanos could do, right? So whatever. Anyway, we're going over to yet another attempt at an attack for BDS. It does seem like once again they are looking for a sweep in and across the map. Of course, the entry players of Shaiko and Leaky Fak are going to double down on that. Meanwhile, on the other side for the defense, like you pointed out early, False is going to be on the Solus, and that means he is going to then tell his team and comment to them exactly what's going on adjacent to the map. And we can see him already in the bar down below, anticipating that roam clear to come through.
Roam clear will be expedited by the Dokkaebi, as you said, from last round. Alems has repicked it. An operator that has seen a lot of bans.
Him.
Where is he?
He's underneath the stairs.
Oh, here he is. This could be very dangerous for BDS. However, Likafak once again starts with the flying opener onto Hot and Cold. One of the best players from North America already out of the server, but False is still at large and still somehow hasn't been droned, unless if Alems is baiting this somehow.
I think he heard it. The logic bomb did ring out, and he must have heard the call going out on the drone, and he sent Likafak in to go hunting. But do they know that False is in behind the bar?
I don't think they're aware of it. That drone has gone past once again. It spotted him. Immediately, the yellow pin comes out. Likafak has this player trapped in a corner, but he doesn't want to take the 1v1. He baits out a separate engagement. Oh, Likafak is insane. It's perfect, but False can bring it back. 1 kill, a second. Might make this round winnable for Space Station, but they triple down. Likafak finds another. False for the trade, but he is so far away from the bomb site, and BDS know exactly where he is. He will have to retake low HP, as Alems can simply slide away back into the darkness, hack cameras, and look for the cover. This will be the round in the bag for BDS.
Really clean stuff there from BDS. Space Station feeling the gravity of Likafak down in the ground floor, sent all their players after him, and well, it didn't quite work out. Likafak very aware that a player could have been pressuring him up all the way through the mezzanine. He turned around, he shot down those players, even under the pressure of taking the 1 versus 1 to False. Some great micro play from him.
Now we have a tactical timeout for SSG. Call out, very well-renowned coach with huge experience and quite a few accolades to his name back on the Astralis days. He's now going to have to whip these guys back into shape.
Just trying to hear of what they're saying.
Bit hard. Very relaxed though, Mandy. That, I think, is a bit of a reflection of something here. SSG have tried 2 times now. Unfortunately, I don't speak French.
No, not quite. I don't speak French either. I did try and have a listen into what they were saying there. I couldn't quite pick it out, to be honest. I don't know if you were able to get anything out of that, but I think the big thing about the Space Station playstyle is that they had the Astralis merger sort of come in, right? And especially with Callout as their coach, Astralis was really that team that I feel like you could make a case sort of pioneered that like very frontline defense, get in their face, make sure that they're uncomfortable through the stages of the attack type of playstyle, especially over in North America. But I think on a map like Skyscraper and against a team like BDS that are so punishing of mistakes, especially positioning-wise, it's important that they have the ability to dial back that frontwards aggression a little bit and make sure that they're on their safe fallout back. And I can only imagine Callout saying, all right, guys, I know that this is your strength, but BDS have got your number. They've got the formula down.
Well, this is the thing. Space Station are a very pacey team in that early round. They love to get in the map quick. We saw that a lot in their Bliss match, where they were even bringing a Maru on some rounds. However, BDS are doing the same thing on their attack, and SSG's defenses seem completely unready for it. Leakafak has been straight up farming. And when you've got players like Faults looking for these really cheeky roams, I guess you could call it a roam. He's sitting on the other side of the map last round underneath the staircase for the whole round. BDS are not going to miss-drone that. They're not going to get caught off guard. And even if they do, it's not like it's going to win the round for SSG anyway. So I think we need a real change of pace here and some new ideas for the Americans.
That being said, it actually seems like BDS are the ones to change the pace in this particular round, looking for a more direct attack into the bomb site. 3 players posturing outside of the rappels going into that top floor. Bride, we're on board with right now, is a little stuck on this hard breach spot. He can't really clear the electrification all by himself, and he's going to have to call over either the baby EMPs of Leakafak or probably a set of grenades from below, sorry, from Alems. And here he goes. This is Leakafak from down below to try and claim any roamers inside the ground floor.
Yeah, and of course, once he's done that, he's got grenades to send up. Here comes the first nade, but there's no information on the back of this. He's not going to send it as of yet. It looks like he's being very cautious. He knows that Space Station are playmakers.
They might be denying the trick here. I think they're trying to make sure that Forest isn't actually going for the bandit trick onto the geisha wall going exterior, right? And they want to, if they can, land the kill as he's going for the trick, which is probably why Leakafak is taking his time here. The grenade doesn't quite sink up through the floor, and instead he's going to claim the space up the back stairs. Okay,
Forest is on the other side of the map, so a bandit trick is not going to go down. The breach will be enabled here. And on the back of the E1D, in goes Alems. He finds one. He gets the double. The round is open for BDS. Space Station once again, the rug ripped from underneath them. 3 rounds in a row now. Space Station have to fight back from a numbers deficit, but Forest, 2 kills with a C4. It's beautiful, but it may well not be enough now. 3 more required. Leakafak watching the angle, and this guy just doesn't miss. 3 in a round now for the French.
SSG just do not have the read on what BDS were doing there. They really spread themselves thin across the map, anticipating that yet another sweep was going to come through, but BDS were the ones to change the tempo and do something direct. Leakafak was given all the space down in the ground floor because all the defenders were just in that second floor and spread out horizontally rather than vertically, and SSG still playing what was a very separated game, gave the in to BDS, and what a great entry that was from Alems, caught off guard, off tempo, was able to claim the first 2 and open up the round.
It's funny, Mandy, because to a simple viewer, that looks very basic, right? Alems simply walks in the geisha and kills 2 people that aren't really even looking at him. Like, here's the replay, right? How are these 2 SSG players caught with their pants down?
It makes you wonder. It definitely makes you wonder. But alas, it is aided by the, like, you know, the Doku be cool. I think it is quite a danger for BDS to have it in their hands, especially on Alems, who's been pretty good with it so far in this series. They need to find a way to shut it down.
Well, for Space Station, that was meant to be the medicinal round, right? They had their tactical timeout. That's where you're meant to bounce back. But, alas, down 3 on your defense of Skyscraper. It's not a good look. That's the only way to put it. Now, they're going to, once again, bounce back. It's been Tea Room Karaoke, Exhibition Office, Tea Room Karaoke. Now, back to Exhibition Office. Second time could be the charm. But Space Station need to be more cautious than ever about losing these early picks on the roam and about losing the site control if BDS identify a weakness.
I like the idea of Forest jumping onto the mirror here to try and stunt the in onto the bomb site. Last time it felt like BDS have just got such a good grip on the bomb site itself, but Forest, I think picking the mirror up is probably a good idea, especially in the absence of not as much range hard breach. Like, yes, they have Bride on the Selmas, but realistically, he's probably got to use most of those on the exterior walls, right? So I think this is a good pick here for Space Station.
Oh, in went a Candela there for a second, and a smoke, but none of the players from BDS are actually moving in. Could this potentially be a bait to try and force these roamers from SSG back towards the site? However, no bait taken. Completely unfazed. As I say that, Shaiko has snuck his way in here to the top of Shrine. He's playing around this shield. I'm not sure if Fault is aware. He's about to walk straight into his line of sight, and Shaiko finds the opening kill.
And here goes Leakafak as well to unlock the bomb site, coming in through the single housing window. Forest full white, and is going to see him go in for the entry, but not quite catch the kill.
Okay, so 5v2 now for BDS as they slow down once again, such a substantial advantage as the young gunner of Ashen must hold on to this site with Forest in tow. They play patiently, and unfortunately for them, that does not work in their favor. Ashen versus 5. Look, mate, if there's ever a time to earn your paycheck, it's right now. But it's simply not going to happen. 4 rounds in a row.
Not a good look so far for Space Station, but really clean stuff for BDS. I think you called it perfectly there in the mid-round. They sent out all the utility into the bomb site to try and pull a reaction for the remaining roamers of Space Station, and it worked to perfection. Shaiko was there for the card to claim the lives of Volt, and by the time that they had the safety margin of the numbers redundancy, they decided to send themselves into the bomb site, look for that execute, and it was clean as he does it.
Wow, very...
Let's detach two, boys.
Very quiet.
Detach two if we can. Let's get these next two, and then we got some shit for attack.
Wow. You know what, Mandy? I never expected that down 0-4, the one player on your team who's been the motivational speaker is your 18-year-old.
Yeah.
How is it that Ashen, in these tight moments, on his major debut, when he's only been playing professionally for, what, a month since he turned 18, he is the one saying, it's okay, guys. We just need to get these 2 more rounds.
10 seconds to go.
Next 2 rounds, and then we can come back in the second half. It's fine. That is crazy when you've got players like Hot and Cold, even Fault's like world champion. They're quiet. Ashen is picking them up.
I really do admire Ashen. I think he's got a lot of energy that he's injected into this team, and energy is sometimes what you need, especially in this LAN environment. That being said, I think that as we've played this major, I think the inexperience has definitely hit him a little bit with some of his performances, and as he starts to find his groove into the server, you can only hope that that energy translates into performance soon.
Very early Dokkaebi call and a very early E1D. I think BDS is just toying with them. I don't even know if they're actioning. Oh, okay, here we go. They are indeed. They've taken a lot of map control very quickly on the back of that universal global utility. And now they're ready to get to work. Look at this, 40 seconds into the round. Leak of Fac, blowtorch in pocket, ready to open up some holes into Geisha.
Cheeky moves from Leaky Fac. He's not doing it straight away because you don't want to create that line of sight then going into drum for the defenders, because that can be dangerous for the push, especially if you're going for something linear like this. So what he's waiting for is, first of all, this breach to come down from BDS. That's going to lock out some of Geisha. And then I can think probably at least a line scan as well to then lock in the defense as they try and go for these picks.
Forest already using one of his gas bays with 1:45 left still on the clock. Trying to keep BDS at bay for just a moment, but this game is tense. Space Station have really been shafted onto the back foot.
This is where BDS can sort of make a decision here, right? The bomb site is the ground floor. So if they want to, they can try and hit the ground floor and make that translation work early, or they can dedicate themselves to clearing out through the top floor. Now, they don't really have vertical. So if they just want to hold on to the retake coming in through the top floor and then go and hit the bottom floor instead, all that BDS needs to do is make sure that no one's on this hatch. And that's where J9O is right now. They could hit the bomb site if they wanted to.
The Dreadmine was activated for a brief moment. The Dokkaebi call has come through. Oh, Forest has been revived, fortunately, so Space Station is still holding on here. BDS have stalled out as Leak of Fac looks to open up. Angles onto Gold. Shaiko times his peak perfectly and takes down Hot and Cold. That is exactly the opening BDS have been looking for.
And the crossfire absent from Space Station as well. No trade to come out. Shaiko just goes in and gets straight out. J9O as well, feeling the pressure of the Geisha balcony outside, is in a bit of a pickle right now as they start to collapse onto that top floor, and Volt is going to be taken down for a third.
This mini execute has worked out for Space Station as Faults finally goes down. He found one, but it may not be enough. Ashen, though, with the Echo, he's the perfect operator to win this in the late round, right around the corner. You've got to land these shots, Ashen, and he does. Leak of Fac goes down. 3 players up, still for BDS, but that timer is ticking away. BDS needs to jump into this window. Barbed wire to get through. The sound cue has been made. He rounds the corner. He takes the fight. Ashen must clutch. There's no time. BDS must stick it, but Alems has got him covered. 5 rounds in a row for BDS.
And on their attacking half, nonetheless, this is not something that we'd expect going into the nature of Skyscraper. Typically such a defender-sided map in 2023. I believe the second most defender-sided map in the map pool at the moment globally. That is some impressive stuff from BDS.
Bring a side shot at least. Yeah, we got one.
We'll play like on the top black side.
Well, you wouldn't think they were 5-0 down. I'll give them that. They don't sound too upset, but you can't deny this is just about as low energy as you ever see SSG. Down 0-5. In contrast, have a look at BDS. Allez, 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 I guess.
Different levels of energy for certain between these two teams for sure. I mean, Space Station, you really don't want to put yourselves out of it, and they're a team that know how to keep themselves in it mentally.
Remaining.
We were speaking about Ashen just earlier, but I feel like really any of these players could do it. So they're going to have another crack at a defense, and it's going to be back over inside of Karaoke and T. Now just in that prep phase going in, we did hear Hot and Cold have a quick chat about a utility setup in the backstairs, so it does seem like this time they are in anticipation of a direct take, and Ashen was very aware of that, knowing that there could be players spawning closer in towards the bomb side, also spotting a player out on the balcony rappel as well. He is going to now com that to his team and say, guys, they're having a think about the bomb site, maybe come back, but there goes Leaky back once again on the early entry.
Oh, Ashen's played this perfectly. That is how you use Solus, ladies and gentlemen. He got the info he needed and he used it to get a kill. Elsewhere, there has been another pick for Space Station, despite Leakerfact finding the opener for BDS. So SSG, for the first time in this game, have a numbers advantage.
Really solid work there from J90 as well, realizing that Brede was going to work the Geisha wall all solo, all on his own. He actually chose to keep that soft, have a rotation hold in to then go and take the 1-versus-1 gamble gunfight onto him. And now that's going to take away the only, oh no, not the only hard breach they had. It was actually a Lems that played that instead. So they do still have Brede on the hard breach, but taking down the baby EMPs is going to make things a little bit more tricky come the execute.
Leakerfact versus J90. Here in drop, J90 decides to fall back and looks to try and support his teammate. Oh, careful! Oh, no care needed, not a care in the world. Leakerfact goes down. Space Station have their first massive chance here. And Renshi, okay, he might try and stop it. He will get traded. Brede against 3. And it looks like Space Station have stemmed the bleeding for now.
Very nice start from Space Station, playing a much more close-knit game, actually denying BDS in on the early entry from the two players of Ashen and J90. Really unlocked the round for these guys. It's Brede all alone in a 1-versus-3, but all the players of Space Station playing pretty far apart. They're really not giving him anything.
He's actually just gone and dropped the diffuser down. Ashen will be able to see that. This is a bait from Brede. He's trying to bait Ashen, and he's done it perfectly. Ashen, though, he reads it. And finally, the first round for SSG.
Let's go faster. We're going to beat these guys before the later, sir. And listen, identify the fastest are working. Let's not do shit in 2 rounds. Do it 1 round, all right?
Interesting. So Forest immediately saying, okay, we're on the attack now, let's set the tempo. We want to go in fast, and that's where Hot and Cold is going to come in as that flex player, the one comfortable on the Nook, the Amaru.
We're setting the tone, bro.
There you go, he said it. He said it on straight after I said it as well, yeah. Set the tone. That's exactly what you want to do against BDS. Try and punish them for wherever they might be in through the map, catch them off, surprise them, and that's why you have the strength of Hot and Cold on players like Ashen to really create space for those plays to work. You know, when you're the entry on Ashen, it's not always your job, you know, to actually then like go in and, I don't know, like always be the one getting the entry kill. What you really want to be doing as the entry is making noise and getting your boots in the building, because that creates space for your playmakers like Forest and like Hot and Cold, your flex players, to then get in somewhere else on the map. You want to pull a reaction from BDS, and that is the strength of Ashen as the entry. And that's the point in that injecting playstyle that Space Station want to bring here on the attack.
Well, Ashen has big shoes to fill after Leakerfact's very heavy first half on that Ash. If anyone on Space Station is looking for quick entries, they will have to live up to what the Frenchman on the other side could do in the first. But having a look at this lineup, Mandy, I think Space Station weren't kidding when they said, let's go hard, let's go fast.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a direct hit onto the bomb site. Typically, when we see that Sens pick out, it is utilized within the hallway between the 2 bomb sites to sort of segment out one bomb site over the other and then go and hit one of them. It's typically Karaoke to follow in after that, and it seems like Forest is ready for that entry to happen.
He's hiding his Blitz shield as well from any potential Solus on the other side by keeping it on his back. Otherwise, the Solus would see it. Now, BDS don't have a Solus, but they do have a Legion. They have 2 sets of impact grenades. They have a Cap Can and a C4, plus the Ella. Like, this is all fantastic counters to this Blitz.
No, but that's what Ashen was doing on the Twitch stream just earlier. He cleared the way now for Forest as he makes his way in.
And Forest must win this one, but there's good cover. Oh no, the Sens gadget did not support well enough. Ashen traded as he jumps in Shine to get a kill back for his team. But regardless, numbers deficit still weighs heavy on Space Station's shoulders as this execute has failed, and they will need to look for an alternate option.
They played straight into the hands of the BDS defense. There really wasn't that much of an extension over horizontally, but a massive setup going into the backstairs. There was shield, an Ela mine, Legion mines, Capcan traps, whatever you name it, all the utility was on the one door that Forest was trying to enter in on. They completely played into the defense just then, and now they need to consider their other options.
Well, it's as if BDS knew exactly the strat that Space Station were going to go for even before SSG did. Having that level of setup, like, you just look at the number of traps on the board, all of these counter blitz, all of these counter rushes, the Legion technically even counters the Finker, for goodness sake. You've got the Warden to deal with the blitz as well, you've got a shield at the top of the stairs. BDS could not be more prepared for the kind of push that SSG decided to make.
Here goes Hot and Cold in through the sweep across the map, instead having forfeited the direct attack into the bomb site. But not a lot of time. 50 seconds left to make their way in through Shine, and the rest of BDS have fallen back to the safety of the bomb site.
Still tempted to go for some peeks here at BDS. I'm not sure who that is in Geisha. Oh, this is nice from Leakafak.
Do it.
Pre-rip C4.
Oh, need to do it.
Shaka with the wall bang. That'll get the first. Leakafak gets the second. The final one to fall will be J90 unless he pulls off a clutch, but I simply do not think it's possible. Bit of hard breach. Might give him another angle. But this crossfire is too powerful to overcome. J90 moving on forward, rifle in hand, staring straight down the barrel, looking for a few players to take down. 15 seconds to go, but that crossfire is simply too good to beat. BDS have match point in their hands.
BDS just looks so comfortable right now, both on the attack and on the defense. SSG had no answer to the defense that BDS brought. It just felt like SSG, they had their own agenda and they wanted to do it. And they didn't think about what BDS could have brought to the table as well. And I think that was a fatal mistake. And generally, I would say, is a fatal mistake in the SSG calling and the SSG playstyle, is that because they have their one way of playing the game, they don't really have this anti-IGLing capacity, not nearly as strong as a team like BDS's.
Listen, if we see the roamer, bro, let's jump the star right now. Their side system becoming like cracked right now. It's gonna be really stacked. Let's get these solo picture now. Like, there's dudes are trying to flank. It's just a dumb roamer. Let's crank them, bro.
Wow. How many words per minute do you think he was saying just then?
A lot of words per minute. So you think as casters that we say a lot of words per minute, but these guys, they speak good word.
Yeah, he was talking very fast. I mean, I'll be the critic here, Mandy. I don't think he was necessarily saying things well. I think I heard like anxiety and stress in his voice, and I don't blame him. I'm not sure who, was it Ashen speaking just then? I couldn't quite tell. I didn't see whose mouth was moving. But yeah, it's crazy, right? SSG, they're renowned for being this high-energy team. You look at them doing their hoorahs before the game starts. They get into the server, they perform like this, and suddenly they're as passive as you would expect out of a bunch of rookies. And they really aren't. In fact, the one who is the least passive and the most vocal is the rookie himself.
BDS on the flip side, though, staring at match point at the moment to send themselves closer to the stage. Here goes Brede on his attempt at a trick, and it's very successful. Easy as you does it. And Fault's on the other side. It's not going to be feeling too good about that one. When you have the baby EMPs in your hands, it can be a little bit tricky to play the trick game, and instead Forest is going to double down with a grenade from below. Brede as well has moved over his electro, what are they called? Bandit batteries over onto the main wall, instead having tricked that one. So I think fair time wasted, honestly, in the hands of BDS.
Fair time and fair util. Like, that took an extra nade and an extra EMP because of Space Station's carelessness at looking to open that wall. BDS looking patient, but also looking for opportunities, and Shaiko takes down Ashen. He might have been vocal this game, but that's all he can do now in this round. Talk to his teammates.
SSG now pivoting for a sweep across the map, realizing that they really don't have a lot more going for them if they want to direct hit the bomb site. There's not a whole lot of hard breach that they have got going anymore, especially with Brede looking for the trick onto the wall, and so they're going to go for a sweep as well. Nice grenade from Hot and Cod, shot onto Leakifak. Will take down at least one of these defenders and open up the ground floor for them to send in the remaining 2 grenades from below.
Oh, it's a good start, isn't it, Mandy? 4v4 is very doable. That said, There's a damn fortress of a setup here on the site and adjacent to the site. Renshiro playing this position in Dragon. Not only can he hide behind the Dragon, but he's got a shield to support him, and he's a Wamai, so he can continually generate these discs to help him on out. He's also on solid floor, so while we do have Hot and Cold down below with one nade in pocket, Forest as well, they're not going to be able to use that to displace this Dragon player.
Oh, the defense knows. They definitely know the presence that's gone on down on the ground floor, and they're actually standing on the tables to avoid the grenades being sent up. This is the second and last one from Forest, so there's no more grenade pressure from down below. I don't think that they've got the main breach open either. BDS just electrified it, and they can't deal with it anymore because J90 has no more mini EMPs. This is doomed for Space Station in the last 30 seconds as they have to funnel in onto the bomb site.
Hot and Cold can't find his man, but J90 finds his. Hot and Cold eventually traded on back. Good crossfire. Shaiko, triple kill. J90 steps up. Shaiko will need the ace. Low HP, but J90 a spray through the wall, gets Space Station their second.
I cannot believe that they landed that execute. Nothing went right for them going in onto the bomb site. The only thing that they were able to do come the last 30 seconds of the round was brute force into the bomb site. And even though Shaiko was good for 3, somehow the sweep across the map from Dragon and from Terrace worked in the hands of Space Station Gaming. They proved to us that in the dying seconds of the round, sometimes you just need to gun them down.
The magic that we saw from Space Station in play-ins against both Alpha Atheris and Bliss was that even in those late rounds, when they're at a deficit, they have this magical ability to jump in, start winning some 3v5s, some 1v1s, and bring back unwinnable rounds. Now, that is the first time in this match we've seen it from SSG.
That's a nice shot from J90. Oh man, a nice 2 shots from J90. Really solid entry coming in from bottom main. You never would have thought that he would have been able to creep into the bomb site like that, but he did. And the Space Station are one of those teams that are so good at doing things all together and at the same time. I guess that's Rainbow Six and the meta in general. Can you do things all together and at the same time, right? That is really the telltale.
It is, yeah. There's so much to think about, especially when we're playing a game like this against a team like BDS, who have been so organized and so prepared for everything that Space Station have brought to the table, whether it's hiding on defense, whether it's playing fast and aggro on attack. But SSG do have a lifeline here.
BDS gonna flip the bomb site as well. Not a reattempt over onto Office, but instead they're gonna send us down into the ground floor. Over inside of Kitchen and Barbecue. Ashen, meanwhile, on the Ying is going to think about disrupting the bomb site directly. Meanwhile, the rest of the players are opening up some of their other options. Fultz, he's got a cam across on the other side of the map, preparing for a sweep, and getting that early pressure down onto Geisha.
Mine active and ready.
Okay, here we go. Mini EMP. Exothermic. Boom. Hole open. But Shaiko peeks it straight away and takes down Fultz. Shaiko's been insane. 10 kills so far this game.
Yeah, Shaiko has been absolutely on it. He's got the tingle, you know, like we watched the kill that he had onto Ashen, he just like knew that someone was out there.
Every now and then you have a game where you're like, I just know I'm going to win this fight. I can't explain it. I just know I'm going to win this fight.
That's Shaiko every game, is what you're trying to say. Anyway, here goes Forest on the Nook, creeping his way in. Trying to catch Renshiro off guard, but it seems like Renshiro is keyed into the sweep across the map.
These castle barricades are forcing Space Station to telegraph any push or lurk that they intend to achieve. And that means that the top back stairs door is still secured. Forest now going for a rotation. Here's another castle barricade preventing the rotate out of reception towards restaurant, which secures so many more of these defenders for BDS.
SSG are having a really long thinking phase here. They really don't know if they want to hit the top floor, go for a mini execute, or hit the bomb site. Now, with J90 rotating the diffuser over all the way onto the kitchen balcony, it does make me think that off the back of some of Ashen's utility, maybe they're going to try and do a mini execute in through the top floor. The breach is open into Geisha as well, and it looks like they're going to go for it.
Here it comes. We saw this from BDS. Let's see if SSG can do the thing the same, but better. Forest finds the opening kill. One of the first for SSG in this game. J90 misses his opportunity. But now there is still a shot here. Ashen's found a Lems, pushing into the site. Leakafact finds his trade and his 10th kill of the game. The diffuser is being planted under the cover of that logic bomb, and J90 looks like he will secure it. Forest to cover, and BDS forced to retake, but Leakafact lands another nutty shot. Hot and Cold, 1 kill to his name. in this match, but he'll need to find 3 more. He finds nothing at all. BDS take it, 7-2.
And in such dominant fashion as well. 7-2 scoreline. That is nothing to laugh at. And a phase 2 matchup between 2 titans of the region. BDS, they're coming back strong in phase 2.
They certainly are. The Six Invitational is waiting in February, and they are not yet qualified. They will need to keep this up to secure their place in Brazil. And of course, to secure what they believe is rightfully theirs. It was a year ago they won in Jönköping. And, well, perhaps now in Atlanta, this could be a chance for them to do the same.
Absolutely. If you want to watch some beautiful Siege, you roll a BDS VOD. And I think they showed us exactly that in this game. I'm really looking forward to them hopefully being on the stage. They just need to win out 2 more matches after this if they want to secure their place there.
It has been a long time since BDS have played on the main stage. Think back to Jönköping. They were the champions. And now they're showing a similar form here, 7-2.